Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today is going to be a Q&A. So I let you guys know on Instagram the other day that I was going to film a Q&A with my mom. This is my mom. Her name is Bian. I'm going to have her tell you in a second why her name is Bian. But anyway, I asked you guys to ask me some questions. So we have a few that we're going to answer for you. And we actually filmed a video a year ago together, but we did it up at my mom's place. I didn't have any of my lighting. And so I didn't end up posting that one, but just so you know why she hasn't been on my channel yet, today is the day. So why don't you tell us why your name is Bian?
Okay, it's an initial name. The B stands for Beverly, and my mother wanted it to be Beverly Ann, never separated. But somehow, because I was named after a girl named Bian, they started calling me Bian, and that stuck. So now it sounds strange to be called Beverly Ann.
People that are my age have never heard of, well, usually haven't heard of people who have an initial for the first letter of their name, and I've always taken it for granted because I've always just known you as that. But anyway, so yes, that is the origin of her name. I think it is actually really interesting. So thank you for explaining it. Okay, let's get on to these questions. By the way, you guys, my mom is an actress, and when she was in high school, she did plays and all this. So if YouTube was around when she was my age, she would definitely be on YouTube, I think. Okay, so first question. This is from Red's Mystery. It says, who has been your biggest influence and who has been your biggest inspiration for life in general? That's a big question, huh?
Yeah, but that's easy. I would say it's my mom. I didn't appreciate her half as much as I do now that she's passed away. And she always felt bad that while raising 8 kids, I didn't have a very nice house. And so with my inheritance money from her, I fixed my house up really cute, and I just like feel her with me. And so because I feel her with me, I just like hear all her advice all over again. It's really cool.
That is really cool. I haven't got to see it yet. My mom's been fixing it up and making it really fun, and I'm so excited to go see what she's done with it. I would have to say my biggest inspiration is my mom, and the reason is not because of like cute houses or anything like that. I do remember Grandma was always really like about her house, and it was cute, and it was there. She always was into decor and stuff. I'm not like that. I just don't have it in me. But the thing that is inspiring for me about my mom is she has a zest for life, and everything is exciting and fun. And that is what I always think about my mom, and it makes me want to just have fun, especially with my kids. So that is definitely my answer. I'm glad we have that in common.
Yeah, thank you. Like at the top of the jungle gym with honor today.
Yeah, today they went to the park. And what did you guys do?
I just decided to climb up to the top of this jungle gym. I thought, well, if my muscles will let me do it. I got up there and I'm like, whoa, this is fun, being up high.
I wasn't there. I would have been like, what, Mom? Okay. Lone Star Gal 77, has Phoebe always been into nails since childhood?
I think so, yeah. She used to bite her nails, so she didn't really put polish on, but if she ever did put polish on, she liked color. So I'd say she's always been into color. In our home, we were raised with mostly boys. There wasn't a whole lot of nail polish putting on.
Yeah, that's for sure. And if I had any nail polish, I think the question might be coming up what my first nail polish was, but I feel like if I had any, it probably just got spilled or whatever. I wasn't like that much into nail polish, but until my adulthood, but I definitely thought it was fun. Anyway, they didn't have as many fun colors back then.
No.
You remember about when they started having fun colors?
And it was expensive. Not really, because I pretty much being a piano teacher and teaching all my students to keep their nails short. I always kept mine short as a good example. And I don't know, short nails look good polished now, but in my day you had to have long nails to look good polished. That was the thing.
Yeah, the different trends and styles. Okay, the question for me from Lone Star Gal 77 says, do you enjoy letting your little girl do her nails and do cute tutorials? Of course, I enjoy it. She comes in and picks a different nail polish every day. She picks a different nail polish and a different lipstick, and I let her have fun with it because I figure, what is it there for if not to have fun with? Ember Phase says, as a gamer myself for the Horde, she says, I would like to know how your mom felt about you finding romance through a game. This is going to be interesting.
Well, I really didn't know about that. until like after the fact, because I didn't know how much she was into gaming. With her first marriage, her husband was so into gaming. I guess that was one way that they could bond, and so I really didn't realize that they were into gaming so much that she would have these online friends. I didn't even know what online friends meant, how you gamed with people all over the world or the United States. So I really didn't have any opinion. I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. Get to know people you haven't met yet.
I'm also pretty like private with that kind of stuff, even though I was living with my mom at the time. I wasn't like, hey mom, I met this boy online. So she really didn't know about it till after I was like, okay, yeah, I met this guy, he's gonna come visit us. Is that probably how it went?
Probably how it went.
Okay, next question is from Ruolia 313, I'm sorry. It says, for mom, how much do you like nail polish? Are you into it as much as Phoebe?
Well, as you can see, my mother always used to say, you have such nice hands. Until I started getting these little calcium deposits that my grandma had. But anyway, Phoebe does me up proud when I'm here. So it's fun, yeah. If I had her to do my nails all the time, or if I wasn't conscientious about cutting them off to still do the piano, and now I have a harp too, and all those kinds of things, playing the organ, they're better with short nails. And I can't get used to the idea of like being modern and having short nails with nail polish.
But they would look really cute, I bet.
I guess so.
Although your nails do look really elegant when they're long. I remember my mom did have nail polish on quite a bit when I was a kid.
My mother always had nail polish. It was part of being a lady.
What color did she wear?
She probably wore like nudie pink the most, and never a real bright color. In her day, that and bright red lipstick meant you were kind of like, you know, fast.
You were kind of
She would
floozy?
call it, yeah, they would call it fast.
Oh, fast.
Meaning you're like out to meet the guys yourself, which was forbidden even in my day.
Okay, it says, okay, so this question's from me. It says, did you ever think polish would become your job? If not, what was your first career choice? I absolutely never thought polish would become my job, especially because, like my mom says, when I was younger, I used to bite my nails all the time. In fact, I tell you guys, sometimes I bite my other hand that's not my swatching hand. I allow myself to if I'm watching a scary movie. I once in a while still will, but just because I have a hard time getting rid of it. If any of you all-star nail biters, you'll know. But anyway, no, I never thought I did. And all the way till I was leaving for college almost, I wanted to pursue a career in, to be a concert pianist. That was my dream. But I discovered I got way too nervous for that. Way too nervous to perform on my own in a stage and trust my hands to calm down enough. I think that if you have enough experience, like with anything, I would have learned to calm down, but I just didn't. So then I decided to go to college for, at the same time I was really into dance choreography. So yeah, I'm in like all areas of the arts, guys. I'm kind of everywhere, but
Singing, dancing.
yeah. I just like, I like all of it. That's another thing I got from my mom, definitely. She's into all of it.
Oh,
So,
yeah, I like the stage.
singing, dancing, playing all the instruments like you guys. She plays the violin. She wants to learn the harp. She never stops learning. That's another thing that is really awesome about my mom.
Well, my mom had her first piano lesson from me.
I didn't know that. That's really cool. How did she get by with never even learning the piano
She
back
took a
then?
college course when she was a newlywed because her first piece of furniture was a piano before
Wow.
a couch.
And she didn't even know how to play piano. And she got a piano.
But my mom's a really good singer. She's a good singer like Phoebe.
Well, where were we? We were talking about what I wanted for, so I went to college with the idea of becoming an English teacher. And then once I got to college, I ended up deciding to be married, and being a teacher was going to take too long, so I shortened it to English, just the English degree without the English education. And anyway, life takes lots of weird different turns and where you don't think you're going to end up where you planned or whatever. I'm not communicating that well, but
I have 6 boys and only 2 daughters, and my other daughter came to visit me, and she said, with Phoebe and her nail business, this is the happiest I've ever seen her.
ooh. Yeah. I'm definitely am very happy. There's a certain thing that you get when you start feeling accomplished at something. When I was first married, I hadn't graduated yet. I was really happy with my babies, but you know, you get a little bit of this, you know, what is it called right after you have a baby? The depression.
Yeah, the blues. They call it the baby
blues, or there's an actual name for it. I'll think of it.
Yeah, it's like a hormone deficiency. Actually, kind of get depressed a little bit.
And then I had a failing marriage, and things were really hard for me, and it was hard for me to find anything that I really felt confident about. The other thing about my mom, let me tell you guys another thing, is she's really good at boosting people's confidence because she tells them all the time about the things that they're good at. So I wasn't an unconfident child in any way, but there was a period of time in my life where I didn't really feel successful at anything, and then once I started getting into nails and loving it so much, and I don't necessarily think of myself as successful in YouTube, but I have enjoyed so much meeting all of you, and it brings me so much happiness to create a video, upload it, and then get to see your reaction to it. And I definitely have a creative passion that drives me. Would you say you do too, Mom?
Yes, and with this face, why not do YouTube?
So from JJ Will Hoyt, hi Julie, she says, for Mom, at what age did you know that Phoebe was musically inclined?
When she was 3 years old and her younger brother was 1, Santa brought the 1-year-old one of those little pianos and brought Phoebe a teddy bear. Within about 2 hours after seeing their presents, there was a switch. And since I started teaching her older brother, who was very musically inclined, how to play the piano at 5, by the time he was 9, the music was too sophisticated and wouldn't practice, so I thought, I'm going to wait till she's 5. Well, she wasn't fine with that. At 3, she started teaching herself. So I started making these little color-coded things where she could actually teach on these little baby pianos how to play. So,
and it was my favorite thing. I forgot that you made those up, but that was my favorite thing. It was like doing puzzles or something like that, which we love puzzles. But it was like that. Playing the piano was like doing puzzles or like doing a math problem or something.
Solving a code.
Yeah, it was so cool to me, and I just wanted to do it like all day long, and I was probably so annoying.
And
I never thought about that fact that I was so annoying.
And she's saying, and the grade school teachers will never forget, and they always remind me how here's this like 4th grader playing Beauty and the Beast. She has on this elegant costume from my stash, and she's singing while she accompanies herself for the talent show.
I know, but guess who gave me that idea? So definitely the theatrical part of me is from her. But yeah, I did a lot of crazy stuff, all of which I'm sure I wouldn't have done if I didn't have your encouragement. That's for sure.
Singing with Brent.
Yes, I did a lot of
every year.
All right, SkyBlue_20. Hi, Sky. She says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how goofy and fun would you say Phoebe is?
Goofy and fun. I would say the goofy part's only about a 3 but the fun part is like up to a 9 because she's so calm. I mean, she's like not hyper. She's like the fun way out. The goofy, I'm goofy because I'm not afraid to get up in front of somebody and make a fool of myself at any time. But yeah.
They might be wondering that because I am really silly on my channel.
Oh. And
maybe not a lot of people are. Some people are silly on YouTube, but I'm pretty silly because I just get so excited filming. It makes me really excited.
Well, you probably got that stage wanderlust, whatever, stardom now, and I haven't seen it as much.
So Stacy216P, hi Stacy, says, what is one of the most memorable stories you have from when Phoebe was little? The more embarrassing, the better. This might take a while to decide.
Well, we always in our religion and in our family, we have what's called a family night on Monday nights. And sometimes just to really break it up for the talent part, we would do skits. And then movie cameras, older brothers started filming these skits. And one time,
I know where you're going this one.
Phoebe decided she'd moon the camera.
Yeah.
And we kept it.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? When Tiffany was here, we were watching home videos, and she was like, oh no, I bet you're gonna moon the camera any second. And then, guess who mooned the camera?
She did?
She did. She was clothed. She was clothed, unlike this story my mom was talking about me. But then I didn't let her live it down. I kept telling her all
Maybe
weekend.
that's where you learned it.
I'm sure I learned it from somebody. I had, like my mom's telling you, there were 8 of us and I was number 6. So I had a lot of clowns and goofy people to watch, that's for sure. Who is your goofiest child? If I'm 3 of goofy.
Probably Cedric.
Cedric's right above me, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
So he got all the goofy, and then I was like,
Cedric got all the stuff I have
Shenanigans.
of being brave and I'm like self-driven to where nothing like discourages you or embarrasses you.
yeah, I'm not that way.
And
I was confident, but I wasn't that brave.
He made some pretty funny home videos rolling down the hill.
Oh
in
my
a blanket.
goodness. We took a lot of home videos, you guys. Speaking of being on YouTube and using cameras, my dad had the camera rolling like all the time when we were kids. Lots of home videos, and that's really nice to share with my kids too. Okay, that's actually a good segue because my mom was talking about church and stuff, and I have one question about that. So we're going to give this question to my mom. It says, when did you become a Christian? Which both of us were born Christian, so that's the easy part. But this part says, what keeps you strong in your faith in today's world?
That's easy. Reading scriptures. Prayer, reading scriptures, having really high standards that our church has, where we devote ourselves and make covenants to keep our high standards. But I read my scriptures daily, and that just like hones me into what's most important.
That's a really good answer. That was an interesting question. Thank you for asking that. Sorry, that was a question from Loopy Doopy Land. Okay, so I have a bunch of questions from Yachty Clark, so I'm going to try to go through them quickly, Yachty. So number 1 is, how old are you? I am 33. Do you want to tell them how old you are, Mom?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm 64, but the top of my head looks like it's cut off. Is it really?
Yeah, it's cut off, but that's okay. A lot of my videos look like that.
Hi.
Okay, the next question says, how do you swatch so often, having so many children and a little one? Does someone help you? If not, how do you handle this? Tim's always at work, so not really. Sometimes Salem, my oldest child, can help me. Like, for example, when we're making this video right now, he is watching the kids for me. So usually it's when I make a video that I need help watching somebody. I'll usually film at night so that I don't have to ask anybody to help me. And then swatching is something that I can like do and get up like every second. When you have as many kids as I do, you kind of never can get so engrossed in an activity that you can't be disturbed. Would you say that was accurate for you
Right,
too?
available, and you're real good at that, like switching gears and not being upset about it, and not feeling like you got to finish what you're doing right now.
Yeah, it doesn't really get my dander up if I have to like, if I'm like on nail 3 out of 4 or whatever, and I have to stop and get up and go do something.
Nothing gets her dander up.
So that would answer that question. I guess I just deal with it just because I have to. Next question was.
Now I'm in the frame.
You're in the frame. Don't worry, I can see it.
Okay.
Don't worry, I would tell you if it wasn't. Okay, do you plan to have more kids? I don't plan to have more kids. In fact, we weren't even going to have Joy because of the different medical issues that I deal with the MS and the epilepsy, the different drugs that they want to put me on. They don't recommend that you have children, and it's also it just becomes less safe. So we don't plan to have any more. But before we had Joy, we felt like there was somebody missing, so we decided to go ahead and chance it. And so then we have Joy.
And she's such a joy.
She is such a joy. And it was in my plans to have a big family. I thought for sure I wanted to have 10 children because my mom had 8. And I wrote in my journal I wanted to have 10 children. But then after I had 2, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to have any more. So each one after that was definitely a blessing because it wasn't my doing. I had a lot of help with that.
Oh, they're easy kids. Your help was from the Lord because, yeah.
All right. How did I meet my husband? We kind of already talked about that. I met him on a video game, and it was during a time in my life where I had a lot of time on my hands at nighttime, and so I would play a video game that I had been introduced to previously, and then I would play it, and I just met people and then met my husband.
And she had siblings that played the game too, so it's
Yes,
like
that's
she's
true.
not the only one. We're a big game playing family.
Yeah. Do you have other hobbies besides music, polish, and watching movies? What are my other hobbies, Mom?
You?
Mm-hmm.
Music? Well, you were really into dance earlier.
Yeah.
And maybe someday you'll...
These days, I
Show your
really
daughter.
like crafts. I used to be into scrapbooking, not so much anymore, but I really like needlework.
Yeah,
I
crochet.
like crochet.
Crochet up the bazoo.
I really like anything creative except things like cooking, that's not my hobby. Cleaning, not my hobby. Decorating, not my hobby.
You probably would love to read a good book, but life is too fast paced with a lot of little kids. And
when I read, I have to read the same line over like 5 times because if I'm being constantly interrupted. The next question says, do you like to cook and what's your favorite dish, dessert? I don't enjoy cooking, not at all. Good thing that Tim does. But my favorite dish, my favorite food is sandwiches. That's my favorite food. What's your favorite food, Mom?
taco salad.
Taco salad. Yum, yum, yum.
And any Mexican food.
This next one says, you seem a very sweet and friendly person. Do you have a lot of friends you hang out with in real life? And the answer to that is no. And I'm not really sure why that is.
Because you've moved too many times.
Because I've moved too many times, I guess so. We're new here. We've only been here a few months. And I've met a lot of nice women through church here. And maybe it's also just because I feel like I always need to be home with the kids and stuff. And Tim gets home so late from work.
And you still have 2 really good childhood friends.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of keep up at the top.
Yeah, but I don't get to see them very often.
No, but in this day and age, texting and...
Yeah. The other thing about me, you guys, is I'm like a homebody. I really just like to be home. So that's the other thing that kind of makes it hard to be social. That's the one area where my mom and I are really different. She would rather be out doing fun stuff with people, wouldn't you say?
I like to be around people. I don't recharge by being alone, like her dad, and maybe she does. But I would rather just be sharing time one-on-one with someone instead of being in a large group.
It's almost like we should take that personality quiz. Okay, too many questions to get through. Okay. She asked about if I plan to have a career as a musician, which I already kind of answered that. She haven't met any other YouTubers. I haven't met them in person. I've met polish makers, but I haven't met YouTubers in person, and I wish we would because I've made a lot of really great friends. That would be a dream of mine. And there's a question for you, Mom. What do you think about my being a YouTuber and a nail polish crazy person, basically? And do you think that they're all crazy is the last part of the question?
I think if it's making you happy and it's filling a need for diversion and for excitement, then it's great. It's certainly something you can do at home and still raise an autistic child, and as long as you keep him from spilling the polish on the carpet.
Which I don't always. He picked up a brown polish the other day, and oh my goodness, Mom, he only painted his fingernails this time. I know, it was like a huge leap into the more appropriate behavior. Yeah. Okay, we have 2 more questions. From Nail Polish Pursuit, hi Pow, thank you for the question. She says, what is your favorite and least favorite polish formula? So my favorite is cream. It can have some shimmer in there. That's my absolute favorite. I just love when a polish applies easily. It just, no nonsense. My least favorite is definitely glitters because it's hard to remove. And the question for you, Mom, is how old was Phoebe when she got her first nail polish? I don't know if you remember.
No, that's not. She probably would have got it from her sister, who's 7 years older. And it would have been like a birthday gift or something where her sister was going to apply it.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe 8, 7 or 8.
I have some from when I was like 14, 15 that I still have. There's like 2 polishes, like a brown and a pink. And that's what makes me remember that we really didn't have a lot of polish choices. Not like this stuff you're looking at here. Okay, last question. Shelly Bean 123 says, what did your mom have in mind for your future when you were little? What were her hopes?
Well, I told her once, because of all the comments at church from men my age, they're like, Phoebe's the best catch in this whole congregation. She's just gonna, she can do anything. And she played the organ for church. She had this long hair down to her waist, and she just was beautiful. And she could sing and dance and do anything with music. And so I just thought, wow. Her choices are really open. I hope she'll be a mother. I felt like she would because she has a very kind, sweet nature. She definitely has skills for motherhood, I think.
That's for sure. My mom did raise me knowing how to be a good mom. That's for sure. What is one of your favorite memories of a time that you both spent with your mom? So, should we talk about Grandma? Is that what that means?
We both spent with Grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
We got to spend a lot of time with my grandma because she lived very close to us.
I think maybe Phoebe's love for Halloween is I didn't let my kids go trick-or-treating.
That's right.
But we always had like Halloween parties, puppet shows, Christmas parties. Every holiday there was a party at my mom's house because she loved drama and costumes like me and wigs.
And hosting parties.
And I never really saw her put on too much wild makeup. I thought the makeup part was like the best. So probably, yeah, the holidays, Halloween parties, stuff like that. Yeah.
And we always had these dinners where we'd sit around this big, gorgeous table and Grandma had prepared all these fun foods. And I remember the one thing I remember the most is Grandma would make this weird salad, or this weird Jell-O with salad in it. What was the deal with the Jell-O with salad?
Not salad, you mean it had like carrots in it?
I always thought there was lettuce in it.
Oh, I don't know about lettuce. She'd serve it on a lettuce leaf. But
oh, that's what it was.
There was lots of weird things back with Jell-O in my mom in the 60s and stuff like that.
It was like the cool thing to make food with.
Yeah, and it was just like the new thing. But what she's talking about is my mother felt it was really important because she was raised really poor, but her mother was always elegant. So it was called an elegant dinner. The kids had to be in their nicest clothes. They sat down, there was a really nice table with cloth tablecloths, and they had to be on their best manners. I think my mom felt like it was a time when she could teach all of her grandchildren how to have really elegant table manners.
And she was probably right. You know, she had a captive audience at that time because we all needed to be quiet. And it wasn't like one of these like, oh, you can't talk around Grandma, not like that. But we knew we were supposed to behave. And when I got to sit at the cool, like not the cool table, but it was the cool table to me. It was like a really big deal. Well, that is every single question. So thank you for everybody who sent in questions for us. That was really fun. I don't know why I didn't know that my mom would spend the whole time talking about me and positive things about me, and so it's a little bit embarrassing for me, but that's okay.
She deserves it.
Well, anyway, I'm so glad you guys had an opportunity to get to know my mom because she's a big reason I'm the way I am. So I feel like it was important for her to be on my channel, and it's been a long time coming.
Oh, how sweet.
So why don't you go ahead and say goodbye for us, Mom?
Oh,
just tell them thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching my daughter and seeing what surprises she has every week, and it's fun. If I was more of a computer person, I would watch her too.
That's okay. That's okay.
I get on my computer about once a month.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm trying to show her how to use her phone for it.
Yeah.
And it's so much easier to do.
That is better.
Smartphones are such a nice thing. Well, our battery's telling us that it's
adios.
Yeah,
sayonara. Goodbye.
Okay, bye guys.
She speaks Spanish too.
So does my mom. Okay, we'll see you guys next time. Bye. Good job, Mom. I need to be a natural. I loved how this built up on its own. You could wear this as a topper if you just try to not get too much on there. But I think this is absolutely stunning on its own in 2 to 3 coats. It's just so vibrant. The holographic in here is just so good. So I really love this one. I'm happy to